second Upanishad, Kena Upanishad. We just touched upon the Shanti part. We'll start again. Atha Kenopaniषद Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshuhu Shrotramatho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahmopanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuriyam Mama Brahma Nirakaroda Nirakarana Mastva Nirakaranam Meyastu Tadatmani Nirateya Upanishadsu Dharmaste Mai Santu Te Mai Santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Literal meaning: may my limbs, speech, life force, sight, hearing, and all senses become full and strong. Everything there is the Brahman of the Upanishads. May Brahma never deny me, and may I never deny Brahma. May denial itself be denied by me. May the virtues of the Upanishads manifest in me, who delights in that self. Peace. Now this Shanti mantra, though we may see or feel, it talks about all of our organ senses and indriyas, and whether we can have faith on Brahma or Brahma also can have faith on us. We'll see extension of that in the Upanishad itself. So if we start with Kenopanishad, Prathama Khanda, first shloka. Om Kene Shitam Patati Preshitam Manah Kena Pranah Prathamah Paiti Yuktah Kene Shitam Vachamivam Vadanti Chakshuh Shrotram Ka U Devo Yunakti. Now, name of the Kenopanishad itself is the first word of this first shloka. Kena, meaning what? The Rishi is asking question. So that question itself, the word of the question itself became the name of the Upanishad. Otherwise, this is also called Talavakar Upanishad. It is also part of Samaveda. I think it's one of the last chapters of Samaveda. But it is popularly known as Kenopanishad. Now, literal meaning of this is by whose will and command is the mind driven to fall into this world. By whose will is the vital life, breath, engaged to take the first breath. By whose will and command does speech come forth. Which Lord commands the eye and the ear. You'll find a great parallel of this shloka itself in Bhagavad Gita. I mean, after reading or studying all the Upanishads, you'll feel that essence of all the Upanishads are in Bhagavad Gita. Now, here, first Rishi is asking questions that I have my eyes, I have my breath, I have my speech, everything. I speak, I see, I think, I know, but whose command, whose will is behind all this? Because when I see something, there is somebody commanding or somebody kind of suggesting me to look at something. Who is that? My mind? Is it me? Or is it somebody else? I don't know. So these are the questions Rishi first asking and try to find the answer. Now, a Rishi can be a Shishya, a Rishi can be a Guru also. So this could be a dialogue between a Shishya and Guru also. So you can see this as a Rishi, a Shishya being asking questions. Even all of us, we are as Shishya of this Guru, asking these questions.
So he has actually asked, is it my mind?
Is it my mind? Whatever am I doing? See, you ask me a question, right? So that question must have come from somewhere. Maybe your mind. But who is controlling your mind? That we want to know, that we want to pursue. So now, in the second shloka, Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Mano Yad Vachoha Vacham स उ प्राणस्य प्राणः चक्षुषश्चक्षुरति मुच्यः धीराः प्रेत्स्यास्मान् लोकादमृता भवन्ति. Literal translation: it is indeed the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, the speech of the speech, the prana of the prana, the eye of the eye. The wise who know this thus renounce the senses and on departing this world attain immortality. Now this one shloka says it all, and we'll see expansion of this in the later shlokas. So what here Rishi is saying, the Guru, that ear of the ear. When I hear something, my ear is listening, but somebody is guiding me, somebody is controlling me with his or her ear. So my ears are not my ears, but somebody else's ears. Who is that? My mind. My mind is controlled by somebody. Whose mind is that? That I am inquiring. My breath, my prana. Who is the prana of my prana? My speech. Who is the speech of my speech? That I am inquiring. So you can, there is only one word which Krishna keeps repeating throughout the Gita. Be it chapter 7, Gnana Vijnana Yoga, or Purushottama Yoga, 15, or even Bhakti Yoga. Krishna keeps repeating this word, Brahma. That whoever is controlling everything, whoever knows everything, whoever speaks everything, whoever sees everything, whoever listens all of this, who is the prana of prana, who is the life of life, is Brahma, which is me. That's what Krishna says. Now here, Guru, the Rishi, doesn't use the word Brahma yet, but he is hinting towards that.
Brahma and Paramatma are same.
They are the same. They are interchangeable. See, somebody would say Parabrahma. There is no difference between Brahma and Parabrahma. There is Paramatma, there is Parameshwar, there is... That is Nirakar, right? Nirakar Brahma. And there is Sakar Brahma. So, there is no difference at all. The difference is in the eyes of us, in the perception of us. And that is because of our Ahankara. Because we are I. We have I, capital I. So that capital I makes us see everything or makes us feel everything. But when that capital I loses its strength, it gets weakened, and that capital starts becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. Then whatever is left is formless. And that is Brahma. We can put it that way. In the third shloka, na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vagacchati no manah, na vidmo na vijanimo, yathe tadanushishyaat. The eye cannot reach there, nor can speech, nor can the mind. We do not know it, nor do we know how exactly to teach it. Now Guru says, I cannot teach what it is. I cannot say anything about it. I cannot speak. I cannot have my mind reaching there. Because it is beyond everything. In Jnana Vijnana Yoga, the 7th Adhyaya of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says the whole world is divided into two types of Prakriti, Para and Apara. So whatever we can sense, including our mind, is all part of this Prakriti. It is Apara Prakriti, which is beyond, which is the physical world, right? Apara Prakriti is physical world. 5 elements, then Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar. So all these 8 are physical in nature. Who is not physical is Atma or Jiva. That is Para Prakriti. And that Para Prakriti holds the whole world. But Paramatma is beyond all of this. Brahma is beyond all of this. So our speech, our mind, our eyes cannot reach there. Even Guru is stopping there. I cannot teach. So who are we to discuss all this? But the answer lies somewhere else. So we'll get to that. Anyadeva tadvi dida tadho avidita dadi iti shushruma purvesham ye nastadvacha chakshire. It is indeed different from everything known and beyond the unknown. Thus, we have heard from ancient seers or rishis who have explained this to us. Now, this knowledge is not new. Though this Upanishad might be new at that time, but this concept, this whole idea is not new. The rishis, even we start our timeline from Manu Vaivasvat, right? Our Manvantara starts with Manu Vaivasvat. And Manu is also one of the rishis of Rigveda. You'll find many suktas in Mandal 8 written or perceived by Rishi Manu Vaivasvat. But there are many rishis. We haven't even heard those names. They are not popular nowadays. But even those rishis talk about ancient truth. This is not new. It is being told, retold over and over. So this concept or this idea is not new. Now, one important thing here, Rishi says, it is indeed the Brahma or Paramatma or whatever label we want to give, that is beyond everything known, whatever we know. Now that know could be tangible or intangible, physical or subtle in nature. But that Brahma is beyond all of this, whatever we know. See, we know our mind. For us, mind is ultimate, everything. Our perceptions are all controlled, or so to speak, we think that we control all of this through our mind. Up to some extent, that is true. So our mind controls some aspect of it, but majority of our activities are voluntary. They are beyond our control, like heartbeats, breathing, the blood circulation, everything is beyond our control. But at least we know at least that there is something going on. So that is all known. And what is unknown? We don't know who controls this, the mind, how mind operates, how our hearts beat, how our lungs breathe in and breathe out. So we don't know. So that is unknown. But Brahma is even beyond unknown. Because unknown has some extent, some degree of knowledge. We know that at least we know what we don't know. What we know is what we don't know. I mean, we have some idea that we don't know this, we don't know that. But that has some degree of knowing by ourselves. But Brahma is even beyond that. We cannot comprehend at all. And even Krishna says very similar thing, that people think of me as a person in flesh and blood and breath. Some people know me as Paramatma beyond this body. But who I am, nobody knows. That's what he says. Who I am in reality, nobody knows. And that's what Upanishad also tells us. Fifth shloka. Yad vacha anabhyuditam yena vaga bhyudyate tadeva brahma tam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. Now here the word Brahma starts. Now Rishi characterizes Brahma in the sense that what is known or what is not known. Brahma cannot be expressed, Brahma cannot be perceived, Brahma cannot be seen, Brahma cannot be thought of. But where This is like a mind game. This is like a thought process that Rishi wants to indulge into. That how deep I can reach, how deep, how extent I can reach. I'll stop there, but at least let me try explaining. Let me try stretching my limits. So all those shlokas will start now. And first one is that which cannot be expressed by speech, but by which speech is expressed, known that is as Brahma, and not that which is normally worshipped here. Now, very important thing. Worshipped here meaning people, we say that in Vedas there was no puja, there was no rituals. That's what we say, that what we do today. Like there is a pratima, murti of Ishwar, and we do all the rituals. We claim that Vedas did not have that, but that's not true. Even Vedas, many mantras in Vedas hint towards some method, some way, some degree of doing Murti Puja. But Rishi is saying, whatever you worship here, that is not Brahma. That we consider that as a representation of Brahma, but that is not Brahma. Yan manasa na manute, yena hurmano matam, tadeva brahma tvam vitti nedam yadi damupasate. That which cannot be comprehended by the mind, but by which the mind is comprehended, know that as Brahma and not that which is normally worshipped here. You can compare this as Sakar Brahma versus Nirakar Brahma also. Sakar Brahma is what we can perceive, what we can worship, what we can know, because that's our limit. And our limit also tells us unknown. That, okay, I don't know that, I don't know this. But Brahma, even beyond Nirakar, Nirakar is still a label given by us. So if we can label it, if we can say it, if we can think of it, that is not Brahma. It is beyond all that. Yat chakshusha na pashyati, yena chakshunsi pashyati, tadeva brahma tvam vitti, nedam yadi damupasate. That which cannot be seen by the eyes, but by which the eyes are seen, know that is Brahma and not that which is normally worshipped here. Similarly, yat shrotrena na shrunoti, yena shrotra midam shrutam, tadeva brahma tvam viddhi, nedam yadi damupasate. That which cannot be heard by the ears, but by which hearing is perceived, know that as Brahma and not that which is normally worshipped here. Yat pranena na praniti, yena pranaha praniyate, tadeva brahma tvam viddhi, nedam yadi damupasate. That which cannot be breathed by breath, but by which breath breathes, know that as Brahma, not that which is normally worshipped here. Iti Kenopanishadi Prathama Khanda. So all the speech, hearing, eyes, mind, prana, they cannot perceive, they cannot experience Brahma. But by Brahma, all these are experienced. So there is a hint here that Brahma is observer. When we breathe, who is breathing? Our body, right? That's what we say. But that body, somebody is observing all of this. When we hear, that hearing process is done by our mind. But somebody else is hearing all this. When we see something, our mind is processing whatever visual scenery is imparting on us. But there is somebody who is seeing all this. So Brahma is the observer. Rishi is not saying that Brahma is controlling all of this. This is still in our control. What we see, what we hear, what we think, what we breathe in, that is all under our control, or so to speak, our mind. But remember that Brahma is the observer of all of this. So Satyam Vada, Priyam Vada, why we see that? Because what we speak is observed by Brahma. So if we use negative words, if we speak ill of others, Brahma is observing. When we hear, when we listen something good or something bad, Brahma is observing. When we breathe in, breathe out, that breath is also observed by Brahma. So what we breathe in, that is also important. So if Brahma is observing everything, should we do bad things? Should we see bad things? Should we listen bad things or negativity? Or let Brahma have good experience? I mean, that is to control our perception. That is to control our mind. Rishi is saying all of this because Rishi is stopping at one point, at one boundary. Beyond that boundary, Rishi even cannot explain or perceive. And that's why he is saying that Brahma is observing all of this. But how or what, nobody knows.
So listen to the translation when you were reading it. I was interpreting it as so that by which hearing is perceived, or that by which vision is eyes are seen. I thought that is the life force which enables us to see. That is, I mean, without that life force, we cannot do any of these functions. So,
but remember the last shloka. Now Rishi is saying, Yat pranena na praniti, yena pranaha praniyate. Pran is life force, right? We call pran as life force. That gives us life. But even that life force is observed by Brahma. That's the last shloka. That which cannot be breathed by breath, but by which breath breathes. So life force is breathe, pran. We call it prana shakti, right? So that is also observed by Brahma. So it is, or Brahma is beyond all of this and observing.
I thought the Atman that resides in us is what is the source of our life, and once we are dead, then Atman is not in that body anymore. So that was what gives us the. I was equating that to same as life force, but there's a difference.
That is very good way of putting it. Now, Atma, our Shastras say that Atma is not life force. Why? Because Atma is Ansha of Paramatma. Or this Atma is Ansha of Brahma. So Atma is also observer. It does not give us life force. Life force is coming in and going out. And Atma is the observer. Because Atma is Ansha of Paramatma. And we'll come to that also in further shlokas. Now this is Khanda 2. It's 10:30. यदि मन्यसे सुवेदेति दहरमेवापि नूनं त्वं वेत्थ ब्रह्मणो रूपं यदस्य त्वं यदस्य देवेष्वथ नु मीमांस्यमेव ते मन्ये विदितम्. It's talking about this. If you think I know it well, indeed you understand very little. If you believe you see the form of Brahma in yourself or in the gods, re-examine. What you think, you understand. Again, if you think I know it well, indeed you understand it very little. If you believe you see the form of Brahma in yourself or in the gods, re-examine your thought. Re-examine what you understand. So Rishi is saying, whatever you understand, stop there. That's not Brahma. But that's our limitation. We call it Atma, we call it life force, whatever we label it. Even Brahma is a label given by us. So that is not Brahma. In very next book, नाहम मन्येषु वेदेति नो न वेदेति वेद च यो नस्तद्वेद तद्वेद नो न वेदेति वेद च. I do not believe I know it well. I do not believe I know it well. And also, it is not that I believe I do not know it. When I say I know it, it's not that. When I say I do not know, that is also not that. Because what I know has a degree of knowledge. At least I know that I do not know something. So even that is not Brahma. It's very hard to grasp by our mind, right? What I know, I believe it is not Brahma.
It has to do with meaning, right?
But I believe I do not know Brahma. That is also not right.
Samanartha.
Very, very hard to digest. Very, very hard to digest.
So Nisargadatta Maharaj has this sentence which says, no matter how good the map is, it's still a paper. Right? That's how our knowledge is. No matter, because life is out there and these are mediums. And that's why the teacher is so difficult and only can give hints, because we get the map and we're like, oh, I know it now. We put it on a flash and pray it, and no, that's still a map. We have to go and do the journey.
No, very well put. It's a very good example by Nitin bhai. Guru give us map. We know there is map, but we do not know what that map is about or what that map is in reality. So it's like, I know that, but I do not know that. And it is beyond all of this. Very good. So who amongst us understands this, truly understands it, and not the one who believes I do not know it? So we have to understand. Rishi is hinting towards that. Understand that I know Brahma, that is wrong. I do not know Brahma, that is also wrong. Who understands this kind of understands what Brahma is. Now, little bit further. Yasya matam tasya matam matam yasya na vedasah avijnatam vijanatam vijnatam vijanatam. If you believe you cannot perceive it, you perceive it. If you believe you cannot perceive it, you perceive it. When you believe that you cannot perceive, you kind of perceive it. If you believe you know it, you do not know it. The untrained one knows it. The celebrated expert is unknowing. Very important. The untrained one knows it. The ignorant, when somebody is ignorant of what we are talking about, that ignorant person does not know at all. Even that ignorant person does not know what he or she does not know. Right? What we are talking about, that unknown element, what is unknown, even that is beyond ignorance grasp. So that person, or that has some perception, some hint of Brahman. But when an expert is talking about it, that I do not know, he lost it. Because expert or people who have gone through all this, who has studied all this, will create some perception in his mind or her mind. Now that perception, what he or she is going to think that, oh, God is beyond this perception. At the same time, he lost it. She lost it. And that's why Upanishad says that ignorant is in darkness, but knowledgeable is even bigger darkness. Very subtle, very subtle, very subtle. That means when you want to learn about Brahma, unlearn everything. Stop all your prejudice, stop all your perceptions, stop all your knowledge, stop all your thought process. Go beyond that. Then only. It is very simple, very simple. Knowing Brahma is very, knowing or experiencing or whatever you want to name it, Brahma is very simple. Throw away all the baggages you have. That's what Rishi is hinting towards. And there is a key. Now that key, now he's going to talk about it. Pratibodha viditam matam amrutatvam hi vindate. Atmana vindate viryam vijjaya vindate amrutam. When it is known in all states of consciousness. Now what are the states of consciousness? Jagruti, Sushupti and Swapna. Right? These are three conscious states. Jagruti is we call it Jagruti, right? We are all aware. We are all aware of what is being told, what is being spoken, what ears are listening right now, what we see. I mean, this is conscious state. We label it as Jagruti. Then Swapna, we sleep. We are dead, right? We don't know what is happening in our body, in our mind. We don't know. So that is Swapna. Actually, that is Sushupti. Sushupti has a state when mind creates its own universe and lives in that universe. That is Swapna. So these are all conscious states. And there is one beyond conscious, Turiya. Knowledge of the self is true power. By this knowledge, one attains immortality. Now, here's the hint that you know there is something in your body, your Atma, right? We all label Atma. There is something beyond mind, there is something beyond perception. So, Atma Sakshatkar, at least you can do that. We all have at least that power to achieve, to do Atma Sakshatkar. If you do that, it will tell you what Brahma is. That's what. Now, very interesting thing. At least you know who is controlling your mind. See, there is thought process happening, right, in mind. So how that thought originating in your mind? If you know that, that is Atma Sakshatkar. The modern science, it talks about various parts in our brain which are related to certain senses or certain actions, right? That I don't know exactly which part, but somewhere in the middle, the Swapna is created from that place. So, who creates that Swapna in your mind when you are asleep? When you are sleeping, when you are kind of dead, you are not aware of what is happening around you. Your Jagruti is zero. In that state, who creates that universe inside you? Where you live? Who creates that? If you know that, that is Atma Sakshatkar. Or if you do dhyana, meditation regularly, then people say that there is a light in your heart. And beyond that light, there is something. That's what yogis or siddhas say. There is light in the heart, and beyond that light, there is something. So if you know that something, you have Atma Sakshatkar. Once you have that, that is your first step, and that will lead you to Brahma. That's what Rishi is saying here. Even see, the first shloka before this talks about the people who are celebrated, people who are trained, people who are expert in all of this. They lost it, right? They cannot do Atma Sakshatkar. It is very hard for them because Atma, when Krishna says that Atma is covered with Maya, and Krishna's Maya is dushkar, hard to comprehend, hard to break into that. So that sheath, that cover, it is very hard to cross. That's what Krishna says. But Krishna also says that, come to me, surrender yourself and you will get it. That means take out all your baggage. That will help you, that will support you in crossing that boundary in crossing that ocean of Maya. So crossing even Maya is light, right? So you'll cross that light, and after crossing that light, you'll see something beyond the sheath of light, and you can call it or label it as Atma. Once you have that, that will take you to knowing Brahma. That's what Rishi is saying here. Iti Kenopanishadi Dvitiya Khandaha. So this is our second khanda. From here, from third chapter or third khanda onwards, it's about story. That story has a hint about what Brahma is. As Rishi said, we cannot perceive what Brahma is. We cannot say, we cannot control, we cannot comprehend. But using a story, we remove our baggages of perception. Because when we connect with the story, that story somehow helps us removing our sheath, our cover. And that's why Rishi is now giving an example of using a story, and that is third khanda. Are we good on time? 15 minutes, okay. Brahma devebhyo vijigye tasya brahmano vijaye deva amahiyanta. They say once Brahma obtained a victory for the gods became elated at Brahma's victory, they say. Now it starts with gods. There are various forms of gods. Usually Upanishad, Bruhadaranyaka Upanishad talks about 33 koti devas. So these are all elements around us. Those elements that control our universe, that control our life activities, that help us sustain life. These are all gods. And they became victorious against what? The forces that try to imbalance the universe, existence of the universe. If we take an example, when sun shines, even it is 50 degrees Celsius, it's still okay, we can still sustain life. But we cannot assume that the sun has expanded, became red giant, and that engulfs our earth. So the temperature of the earth is going to be instantaneously beyond 2000 degrees Celsius plus. So no life can sustain. So the force that keeps the temperature at 50 degrees Celsius is God. And the force that makes it 2000 degrees Celsius is Asura or Danava or Daitya. That is negative force. When good force, Deva, is victorious, life is sustained. Universe, Dharyate Jagatam. Krishna uses this word. So sustaining force is God and destroying force is Asura. When Deva wins, life springs and they are victorious. They think Brahma did that. So they attributed these elements, they are considered or imagined as persons, beings. And that those beings think that, oh, Brahma helped us winning all this. Ta ekshantasmakam vijayo asmakam mahimeti taddesham vijajnau tebhyo ha pradur babhuvatan vyajanat kimidam yakshamiti. They thought, this victory is ours and this glory is ours indeed. He, having understood their false pride, appeared before them. They did not know who this spirit was. Now in English, the author used word spirit, but the original word used in the shloka is yaksha. Now, gods thought they are victorious, and that is, the victory is ours, and this glory is ours. That's what they was thinking. When they thought about this, something appeared, a being appeared, a form appeared, and that form is called Yaksha. Now, if we relate this story to Puranas, who is Yaksha? Yaksha is Shiva. Shiva is also called Yaksha, Yaksharaj. So you can consider Shiva appeared in some form. Te agnima bruvan jata veda etadvi janihi kimidam yakshamiti tatheti. So they asked God, Agni, fire, Jata Veda, please find out who this spirit is. So be it, Agni replied. Now all the gods, the devas, among the devas, god of fire, Agni, they ask Agni, okay Agni, you possess everything, because everything has, if you have some physics background, you know that there is cosmic microwave background, right? And cosmos, when we talk about it, the space, it is vacuum, but that vacuum has at least 3 degree Kelvin temperature. That means it is warm. It is not dead cold. It is warm. So that warmth, we can call it Agni. Wherever there is warmth, whenever there is energy, it is Agni. Agni does not mean just flame. Agni means anything that is not dead cold. That is Agni. So amongst all the devas, Agni possesses all of us. That's why Agni is called Jata Veda. The one that holds, that possesses everything. That is Jata Veda, Agni. So Agni is amongst everything that is inside this universe. And that's why it knows everything. Let's put it that way. Agni is in everything, so Agni knows everything. And that's why other gods ask Agni, hey Agni, you inquire, you know more. Who is this Yaksha? Tadabhyadra vattama abhyadakato asitya agnirva ahamasmitya bravit jata veda va ahamasmiti. So Agni rushed to the Yaksha. The Yaksha said, who are you? Agni said, I declare I am Jata Veda, who I am. When Agni reached Yaksha, Yakshas asked Agni, hey, who are you? Then Agni says, I am Jata Veda. I possess everything. And that's what I am. So that is Ahamkara. Agni has Ahamkara. That's why Agni has form. There is form. Form does not mean just flame. Form meaning it has existence. Anything that exists is called with form, Sakara. So Agni has Ahamkara. That's why Agni says, I am Jata Veda. I possess everything. That's what I am. Tasmistvai kim viryam ityapidam sarvam daheyam yadidam pruthivyamiti. What is this famous power of yours? Asked the Yaksh. I can burn all that is on this earth, replied Agni. First question, who are you? Second question, what is your power? Famous power. Agni has some power. So Agni says, I can burn all of this. All that you can see, I can burn all of this. Tasme trunam nidadhave tattaheti tadupa preyaya sarva javena tanna shashaka daktum satata eva nivavrute naita dashakam vijnatum yadeta adhyakshamiti. Then Yaksha placed a blade of grass in front of Agni and said, burn it. Agni rushed to it with all his strength, but he could not burn it. So he returned from there and said to the gods, I could not find out who that Yaksha is. So Agni had Ahankara, that I can do this. I know this. So Yaksha says, okay, this is the blade of grass, burn it now. Agni rushed towards that grass, thinking I can burn. Could not do anything. So Agni bowed down, retreated, and again went back to the gods. I could not find out who that Yaksha is. Then, atha vayoma bruvan vaya veta dvijanihi kimet adhyakshamiti yatheti. Then they said to Vayu, Lord of air, God of air, Vayu, find out who that spirit is. Vayu said, okay, now my turn. After Agni, that is Vayu. See, this is the process of the universe. When there was Big Bang, Some people say that Big Bang was not right, but our Shastras support Big Bang theory. There are many Upanishads. They in detail explain how the Big Bang happened. So after Big Bang, first thing came was Agni. Lot of energy, Urja. And because of that Urja, some particles evolved. And those particles, they are in free flowing mode. So they are Vayu. Anything that flows, flows such a way that we cannot see with our eyes. That is Vayu. When we see the flow, it is water or liquid. When we do not see the form, it is Vayu. So Vayu is next stronger god. And that's why gods ask, okay, Vayu, your turn. Agni was defeated, couldn't figure out what it is. And now Vayu says, okay, I'll do that. Tadabhyadravattamabhyadatko asiti Vayurva ahamasmitya bravin matarishva va ahamasmiti. Vayu ran towards it. And the Yaksha said, who are you? Vayu said, I declare I am Matarishva. That is who I am. Now Vayu used this word, Matarishva. I am Matarishva. Matarishva is can travel anywhere. Anywhere meaning Earth has atmosphere, a surrounding. That surrounding is Vayu. But we cannot say that there is vacuum. In vacuum, there is no particle. There must be some particles, be it photon, gluon, graviton, whatever we name it. There must be some particles floating around everywhere. So that is Matarishva, which can travel in all the locus across the universe. That is Vayu, Matarishva. I think we are close to time, right? 5 minutes. We can finish for the Vayu and then do it. Tasmin svaikim viryamityapidam sarvamadadiya yadidam pruthivyamiti. What is this famous power of yours? Asked Yaksha. I can lift everything there is on earth. Now Vayu thinks I am Matarishva. I can flow anywhere. So I can collect or can lift everything. Because I am free flowing. I can take it to anywhere in the world. तस्मै तृणं निदधा वेत दादस्वेति तदुपप्रेयाय सर्वजवेन तन्न शशका दातुं स तत एव निववृते नैतदशकं विज्ञातुं यदेतद्यक्षमिति. So Yaksha placed a blade of grass before Vayu and said, lift it. Vayu rushed to it with all his strength, but he could not lift it. So he returned from there and said to the gods, I could not find out who this Yaksha is. Now Vayu is also defeated. Vayu said, I am Matarishva. I can lift anything. And Yaksha again placed that blade of grass. Okay, try to lift it. Vayu couldn't do it. Now here's this story up to so far. If you relate to other two khandas before, whatever Rishi said, ignorant one, kind of grasp it. But who is well trained, who is expert, loses it right away. So Vayu or Agni within us, they represent expertise. They represent person or our perception. That when we go with that knowledge, with that perception, with that strength, we are defeated against Yaksha, meaning Brahma. We cannot know Brahma if we do that. And that is Ahamkara. So Aham, Ahamkara, and who is or who possesses Ahamkara. So that's all we are talking about. So we'll continue this story in the next session. Namaste.
So we don't have other